What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Hope everybody's having a great Saturday. I have to say, I'm kind of pissed. This is actually only, the second video that I've done today because I really screwed the cookie. I messed up a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I tried and I failed. And there's nothing I can do about it. But let me say to everybody who said, congratulations, Mark, on getting 100,000 subscribers. Thank you all so much. We ended up doing a 6-hour live stream last night. About 2 o'clock in the morning, my computer died on me. Had a brain fart, and I said, we're 350 people away, so I said, well, we'll just wait until, like 6 a.m. and get up and do it. We won't have gotten it, and of course, I got it. In which case, I missed actually seeing it. So, I didn't get much sleep last night, so I've been tired, and I'm trying to do some of the honeydew stuff here at the house. I'm under the house right now, where this is the crawl space. If you've actually seen this place when I first got it, this place was actually scary being underneath here. It literally looked like a haunted house. But after doing all the work and stuff in here, to make things better, I've got the walk around crawl space, or cellar. So I built this workbench here, and I'm taking apart this old fireplace mantle, so we'll repurpose the wood and stuff from this, and be able to keep my tools down here where it's actually climate controlled. So just kind of been doing this to keep my thoughts to myself. Let me say thank everybody for the congratulations and so on. But let me say, you need to pat yourself on the back as well, because I wouldn't have that without all the people that subscribe. So it's us together, and I appreciate it. So Michael Gallop is going to Carolina to get an interview and maybe sign with the Panthers, which is good. The funny thing is, as we keep losing players, it's actually hilarious now that I think about it, because here's what happens with Cowboy fans. I realize what we are. What we are is that crazy person, that fatal attraction that if I can't have you, I don't want anybody to have you. Yeah, we are. That's who we are. Because for years, people have been saying, we need to move on from Tyron Smith. He's a bum. He can't stay healthy. He gets a job with the Jets, and all of a sudden, everybody's mad because, they find out, you've heard that the contract is full of incentives that will get him up to $20 million. The actual guaranteed money on it is $6 million. Now, the first incentive kicks in, I think, at 38% of the snaps, so he'll be able to get to that one. It won't be $6.5 million. It'll be more. I doubt it'll be 20. 20 will probably be Aaron Rodgers goes to the Super Bowl, wins the Super Bowl, and so on. Then you get $20 million because we got all kinds of money to spend because we won the Super Bowl. But now, looking at some of the writers and some of the people and some of the fans, really, $6.5 million? We couldn't have done that? Well, we probably could have if we wanted to, but the thing is, here's the real problem. The real problem is sometimes we hang on to players too long. We have this whole thing that there are guys and we can't live without them. And the thing is, sometimes you're better off moving on. Tyron Smith was an incredible player for us. But once Tyron Smith started breaking down, that would have actually been the opportunity to go ahead and say, maybe we trade him and get somebody else that won't be as expensive and is younger. And see, this is where New England used to thrive. New England got old. Things that Bill Belichick, he kind of ended up becoming like Tom Landry. Tom Landry was an innovator. He brought in a whole new era and things like that. But at some point, you get old and people understand what you're doing. And this is where me getting to 100,000, if you have been one of those people like Wade, Walker Wade, who's been following since like 2014, you've seen the evolution of the channel and what I do. You can't expect to do the same thing all the time and continue to get results. Even if you are the best in the business, there are so many companies that were the biggest, company in the world that we thought would just be there forever. And they have this arrogance of, well, we are the biggest. And, I remember when Kmart used to be, and Kmart and Sears, you didn't, oh my God, because everybody had the Sears and Roebuck, catalog. They were building houses that come, literally pre-built houses that come on the trains and stuff. My in-laws actually live in a Sears kit house. They have, of course, Craftsman tools with a lifetime guarantee. They're bankrupt. They're out of here. Kmart, they're gone. And they got replaced by the Walmarts. And Walmart, I don't know if Walmart will ever be replaced, but you now look and see how Amazon has kind of taken over a lot of what Walmart was and is putting other people out of business. In fact, some of the places like the Kmart that used to be here is now Amazon distribution. They put them out of business. They cut them out at the knees, and then they took their space. And that's where evolution comes in. And see, the thing that I remember, some of the things that New England would do, even when they won the Super Bowl, they would turn over the roster to keep people, on their toes and to bring in fresh players. As much as we fall in love with guys, we have to be willing to let them go because it's the natural progression of football. And I remember going into training camp, I can't remember the player, I'm sure some of you guys will, but during training camp, they had a Pro Bowl guard that they traded to Miami during training camp because they knew they had a guy that could step in there. They looked and they said, well, we're going to have to pay this guy a whole bunch of money. We need to go ahead and move on from him and get back compensation. I think they got a second round pick or something like that. But you would constantly see them, instead of like what we did with D-Law paying him, they ended up having at the same year, I'm having brain farts here, I think because I was up so late last night, but they had a edge rusher or an outside linebacker that they decided not to pay, and I think he got a contract similar to D-Law's going to either Cleveland or Detroit. And you look at it, hindsight is 2020, they got draft compensation that replaced that player that ended up being longer than what the other player did, and his numbers went off a cliff. So don't be afraid necessarily of change. Change is good because you need that fresh blood. You get guys that get too comfortable and get into, the same old rut and the comfort level. You need people to be on their toes and to be worried a little bit, because when you work and you have that fear of saying, I've got to perform or I'm gone, you work a little bit harder. And that's been my theory in life. With YouTube, it's taken since technically, 2012 is when my daughter made me a YouTube channel. I only put a couple of videos up a year and stuff those first couple of years. It wasn't until 2016 that I really started to do more and more with it. I stopped doing less Facebook and more YouTube, and got my first 1,000 8 years ago. Well, 7.5 years ago. And in that time, if you've watched, I've changed what I've done. Thank everybody for all the congratulations and stuff. I can't remember his name, forgive me. Cowboys YouTuber with about 21,000. He sent me an email the day and did a video saying congratulations, and I appreciate that. But he said, watching me ended up motivating him to want to do a YouTube channel. And I guess they figured that if this old, ugly ass, non-videotaping, dirty, butt crack showing guy can go ahead and do YouTube, who can? And if I've inspired anybody to try and do this, I am honored that you're following my lead. But like anything in life, you only get out of it what you put into it. Hey, Michael Gallop, I hope he does well, because Michael Gallop is a great guy. He does things in the community. It just didn't work out here. Tyron Smith, I wish the Cowboys hadn't failed him, with as well as other guys like Tony Romo and DeMarcus Ware and Jason Witten, and not getting them a Super Bowl. I want to see those guys succeed, just not against us. And for myself, now we've got that 100,000 mark, which is something I didn't think was going to be obtainable. Yeah, you dream about things like that, and then you get there and it's like, today's just like any other day. Yeah. There's no fireworks going off or bells and whistles and things like that. It's still back to the grind. All right, good people, I'm going to finish taking this apart, and I'll be talking to you guys a little bit later. I got work to do, but I tell you, this is kind of a game changer here, because now I've got, at least, it's not much. It's literally, I feel like a coal miner down here, but and it's a mess right now because I've got some racks and stuff I need to get to organize my screws and things like that and sort out. Basically, my wife took everything from the closet upstairs, and she's like, oh, I need that closet. So everything got piled down here, and I was like, let me get this thing finished so I can get it organized. And it was like, nah, there's no time for that, bro. When mama wants it out, and I tell you what, I better hope that she don't ever want me out, because my shit will be on the curb. It will be on the curb real quick. But I'm kind of liking the way it's kind of being able to use all of the space. I got buckets here where I can put scraping stuff, masonry stuff, plumbing stuff, and all that. Got all my paints in here. And with the furnace in here, it stays pretty much climate controlled, so it'll be good for years. Anyway, I'm rambling on. I need some coffee. Peace.